Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do an energy reading and I want to connect to purpose specifically. I was just sitting down and the guides were saying that there's some stuff coming through for a lot of people around their purpose. I feel like, especially with all the spiritual activations and initiations going on right now, whenever we're going through this period of energetic upgrades, a natural part of that is starting to question all of our life choices. Anything that might not be fully resonant, whether that is we need to kind of just tweak the situation or we need to completely change a situation, it's going to come up because that's part of the upgrade and the activation. And what's coming through for a lot of people right now is really this craving to more deeply connect with and understand their purpose. And I mean, I have a lot to say about purpose. I really believe this is just a frequency that we live in, and it is living in alignment that is the purpose. And living from love and experiencing love and sharing love, I think of it more as a process than a destination. But I feel that a lot of people right now are really looking to kind of anchor into what is my mission and how am I meant to really contribute on a soul level to myself and to the collective. And for a lot of people, the mission is really upgrading or shifting, or there's a next part of it. And part of being really energetically available for spiritual upgrades is to be available for big change in your life, because, you know, maybe part of your mission involved you living in a certain place around certain people and you're in your flow and you're loving your life and everything's great. And then all of a sudden you complete the contract and now it's time to take a hard left and move across the world or across the country and start a completely different part of your career and create all new friends and relationships. I mean, that can happen. And so for a lot of people, we really are hitting this next leg of the mission, and that can mean a lot of shifting and changing. And that's what's coming through for a lot of time, for a lot of people at this time. So connecting with mission already, and just so you know, I'm like consciously channeling during these, so I already have the guides all around. There's some little light beams. It's fine. It's that time of day. Whenever at this time of year, I struggle with this time of year because it messes with my lighting. But anyway, I'm going to pull some cards and I'm just sharing what the guides are saying. And I feel like just right off the bat, before I even pull anything, because I really want to tune into you guys, like what can they do? What can people do to really get clear on the next part of their mission? And the first thing they're saying is just peeling back the layers, back to basics. This is about trusting yourself. This is about really connecting to your intuition and silencing the noise. And a lot of what is blocking us when we're feeling like we're not clear is actually around other people's perceptions. So where we are still afraid of what the answer really is. That's really the thing that blocks us from knowing intuitively and for having that clarity. It's when we are afraid of what the answer is, because we'll be afraid of the answer, of getting it, and for it to come in clearly, if we know subconsciously it's going to require a huge shift in our life, right? Because like once you know, you can't unknow. And I know for me, once I know, I'm like, well, I got to take action on it. I can't just know something and then not take action. And if you're like that too, right, that can be a subconscious block of actually receiving the truth very clearly. But a lot of what's coming up is worry about relationships. And so worrying about, how is my partner going to respond to this? Am I going to like uproot this person? And how am I going to affect them? There's also the judgment and perception of people around you. Like, are people going to think I'm crazy? I feel like there's a lot of other people thinking you're not. There's something around stability and projections around you not being like, it's not a stable move, whether that is who are you like endangering in terms of your family or friends, or also is that a wise financial move? And what you're gonna feel the more you step into your purpose and the more you show up as your most authentic self and you're following things that excite you and you're exploring new areas and avenues and trusting your intuition, is people are going to project their fears onto you. People are going to feel that fear. You know, they're just trying to look out for you. And they're going to project that fear onto you. People like to assume that the way they would feel in a situation is how you would feel in a situation, which is not always true. So just recognizing those projections and also recognizing where people are resisting any frequency shift in their relationship because they're comfortable with the energetic dynamic right now. And if you're starting to change, then it's like, wait, where does that leave me? And I like us in this dynamic we've been in forever. That's what I'm used to. That's what I'm comfortable with. And I don't want you to change. And so what happens when people are pushing up against it is it's really about, you know, often it's like, well, what does this mean for me? What does this mean for me? And I think there's a piece of you that deep down knows for you to really step into this next part of your mission, people are gonna like who you're spending time with and how you're spending your time is gonna have to change. And that's part of the resistance. And it's like, oh, I'm craving this deeper connection, right? It's like I can feel that craving, that desire, but I'm actually afraid to step into it because I know deep down, like for me to really step into this next level of my vibration, I'm going to have to make some shifts in my social life and my personal life. And I feel like there's something with like family judgment that's at play like deep in the back as well. So there's a lot of those projections. And I mean, this is where we hold ourselves back, right? Fear of what other people are gonna think. So they're saying someone's going to come in. It feels like someone's going to come in that like shows you. There's someone that's going to come in who's going to inspire you. It's like they're like going to give you an opportunity, show you the light, show you another way of living and being, and that is going to inspire you. It's almost like somebody can come in with like, look at what you could have, and it's not a trick. Like it's somebody who actually is living it or giving you this opportunity of like, hey, come hang out with us, or hey, like this business opportunity. Like somebody's going to come in with the opportunity, and you might tell yourself, oh, this is scary, it's too good to be true, and it really is like the universe moving through that person, like, this is what's available to you, but you have to be willing to take it. You have to be willing to make the changes. So the question is, are you willing to make the changes? How is this? It's almost going to feel like you're going to know. You're going to be like the energy around it is going to have this divine thing of like that person speaking through that person right now. And for some of you, that might even be, I don't know what movie. I'm sure this is in different movies, but they're showing me like in a movie, somebody on TV is like, this is for you. Do you want to step into this? And the person's like, yes, that's for me. I mean, it could literally be somebody on a podcast or TV and you're like, holy shit, the divine is speaking through you. Okay, start fresh. New leg of the mission. New beginnings. Are you ready for it? Speak your truth. And stay positive. Okay, so this is about, can we expect the best? Can we expect that it's going to work out for us? And what's happening is we might not expect the best because we're playing into other people's fears and projections and illusions. This speaking of truth, to be honest, part of this spiritual activation and initiation into your next level and this next part of the mission is like, and you understand this, like for you to step into this next part of what you're here to do, you're going to have to say things that not everybody's going to like. And that could be in your personal life or publicly, but it's really about stepping into, we can have hard conversations and hold our frequency and show up with love. And that is a big part of why you're not moving into your, like fully living your purpose. It's like, it just stuck because you have to accept this next part of the mission. And part of that is speaking clearly. It's opening your throat chakra. It is speaking your truth about what you're here to do, about what you're really excited about. I feel like with a lot of these old relationships, it's like you've just doled down who you really are and you're not fully expressing all that you are. Like I feel like you're kind of adjusting to other people, and that's the part that you're afraid of. It's like I'm afraid to share with people what I want to go after or how I really feel, and so I've just been kind of like keeping the peace, and I'm actually holding myself back so they feel more comfortable. You're not going to be able to avoid this. Like I feel like it's like I want to feel this way in my life. I want to live my purpose. And I want to impact people. I want to, like you know what you're craving, and you're literally holding yourself back because you're afraid to speak your truth because you're afraid to make other people uncomfortable. The thing is that if those people aren't supportive of you, then that's telling you something about whether or not they should be in your life. And here's the thing, the only way that we can really see the truth of what is when we're speaking our truth. So if I'm holding myself back, how can I really see the truth of a relationship? How can I really see who is truly there to support me, who is really like on my team and is with me for the whole journey, and who is only there for one version of me? Like who only wants this one version of me? And is that really an aligned relationship? And so it's like when we are afraid to see the truth, we'll be afraid to speak the truth. And so what truth are you afraid to see right now? What do we need to know about living our purpose? It's like, I literally feel like something's already brimming. Like, there's like a person. You're already anticipating. Like, I already know they're gonna, like, there's a person that you don't talk about that with. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that person, we don't go there, but we're still good. Like, love them. But yeah, I just don't talk to them about that. What you're avoiding is what you're going to have to face to get initiated. Sorry. It is what it is. People think the spiritual path is unicorns and rainbows. It is having fucking hard conversations. Sweet results await. Make your dreams real. Bee and spider. So notice if those come up in your reality. And turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. You know, it's interesting. This is really all about like you are holding yourself back. Like in your, I feel like you're telling yourself, here's the thing. You're telling yourself, I don't know what to do. That is not true. But in saying, I don't know what to do, you're creating that. So if you say, I know what to do, and that is really, I'm following my joy. I'm following my joy. I'm following my intuition. I'm trusting that's going to lead me down the right path. It's about you being a co-creator. This is the spider card, right? But there's really something around self-confidence here. Like, I really feel like a big reason that there's the projections around from other people. There's those fears, but this is about a confidence thing within you. This is you expecting it's not going to work out for you. You expecting judgment. You expecting to maybe look like a fool. Or you feeling like if you follow that thing, other people aren't going to think you're successful. And so what we're really bumping up against is our ego and how much we're tied to other people's perception of us and wanting to maintain a certain image. Like that is really what we're bumping up against here. And that is at the root of it, right? And so when they're bringing up like sweet results await, make your dreams real, I feel like, and the slow and steady wins the race. It's sort of like, oh, you've dabbled in that direction. And because you didn't see this huge boom, like angels singing from the sky, or like, oh, I tried this little dabble and $1 million didn't come my way. It's like you kind of put your toe in, and because there's something huge that's showing, oh, this is the right path necessarily, you're like, okay, it's not going to work for me. And so you're keeping yourself out of it, but it's like you can't. You know what, you guys, it's like you can't avoid your destiny. And the number of people who are just trying to avoid their destiny, I'm like, you're just making shit so much harder for yourself. And then you're complaining about it's not feeling good. Well, it's like, where are you? These lines, I can't do it. It's annoying me. But it is what it is. So we're just gonna keep adjusting the camera. And then this is like more reinforcement for these stories you're telling yourself about how you're not good enough. This is the confidence piece. They want you to expect that it's going to work out for you, right? The stay positive, the sweet results await. It's like, oh wait, or like you start going in that direction. And you know what they want me to tell you? Okay, so the more I followed my intuition in my business, and I've had many different iterations of my business, I've shut down my business and restarted something else multiple times, and it's scary as hell every single time, and everybody thinks I'm fucking crazy, but it is what it is. And I'm like, I can't stay in a situation that is financially comfortable, but I'm emotionally, energetically, spiritually so uncomfortable because I know it's not right. Like no amount of money is worth that level of discomfort for me. So I will take the leap. But you know what the thing is every single time when I've started going in the right direction, it's like I'm dipping my toe in and I'm waiting for some feedback. And you know what's happened every single time is income has dipped. And I could freak out and be like, shit, this is not the right direction. But you know what that has been? That has been the test. That has been, how willing am I to trust my intuition? How willing am I to take the leap? And so I make the pivot and I take the dip, and my ego could be like, this is not the right path because why are you not making money in this direction? I keep going, and it is a test of trust. And then it all clicks. And so sometimes there can be that awkward, like, are you going to follow your intuition or your ego? And that can happen sometimes. There's not always immediately positive reinforcement that you're going in the right direction. This is about really honoring your truth and what you know internally you need and how you want to feel, right? And the slow and steady wins the race. I think like this is something the guides have been talking a lot about around like just this instant gratification piece. And this is where it gets tricky with the manifestation space and like calling things in effortlessly. And that is a whole other conversation I gotta have separately. But notice where your ego is like, I want it now. And it's so funny. People will say this to me and I'm like, you literally sound like a 10-year-old. And I do it too. I'm like, I want it now, right? It's like piece by piece, step by step, slow and steady does win the race. And so if you're dipping your toe in and be like, oh, it's not working, it is a commitment. Like this is about choosing a life where you are committed to following your intuition. You're committed to following your truth, living your truth. You are committed to following your heart. You're committed to your joy. That is a commitment. That is a lifelong process. That is not okay, I get brave this one time and I'm going to dip my toe in and then it better all work out and I never have to make another scary decision again, right? as I have lived my life more and more like in alignment with my intuition, it has never like shifted into something where I'm not tested. It's just that I'm so used to my ego getting tested. I'm so used to having to make crazy fucking decisions that I've gotten a lot more comfortable with doing shit that makes my ego uncomfortable. It's not that, okay, I went in that direction, I took that one leap, and then I'm done with the leaps. I'm done with the leaps of faith. No, I'm committed. I'm committed to my intuition. And so I'm consistently presented with opportunities where it's head over heart, ego over intuition, what my mind can understand versus what my soul knows. And it's a commitment to choosing from that soul aligned place. And that is how you create an extraordinary life. It is not with ordinary decisions. It really is not, right? And so this is, are you committed to this path? Are you committed to this journey? Recognizing that if you're going to be on a journey either way, because you are, life is the whole journey. If you're going to have to pick a journey, are you going to pick the one that lights up your soul, that brings you joy every single day through the process? Or the one that maybe makes sense to your logical mind, but feels stale and fucking boring? Are you going to live for yourself or for other people? That is the question. And the thing is that it's really uncomfortable to live for other people. It's really uncomfortable to live from your ego and from fear. It actually is long term. Maybe in the moment, it seems easier, but long term, it is painful. It is actually painful to betray yourself like that. And this ties back to confidence. And you know how you build confidence is you trust yourself. You trust your intuition. You say, I'm going to trust you. And it works out every single time. Right? Because if I'm going to trust anybody, it's got to be me because I'm living with me my whole life. And that is really what this has an opportunity to bring you is a new level of trust and confidence in yourself, right? And so this is where anywhere where you are not fully confident in yourself and what you're here to do, and even confident in speaking your truth and standing up for yourself for other people, right? Because we can have those moments where, and look, I faced this many times of saying things to family or friends like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm really excited. And I've gotten laughed at. I've gotten laughed at. And when I was younger, that used to definitely bother me, right? But then you get to a place where it's like, okay, that sucks maybe in the moment, but when you're so freaking happy in your life, now it's the point where nobody makes fun of me because they can tell how lit up I am and they have seen how it has worked out. And it's like, when I'm confident in it, right? No one's going to say anything to me. And so that's where we get tested with this confidence piece. And that's where it all ties together. It's like owning your truth and what's really lighting you up. And here's the thing, if you don't feel safe to express that to people in your life, like I'm so pumped to follow this. If you're already anticipating they're going to make fun of me or think I'm crazy, are those aligned people for you? Because we have to think about, like, in terms of long term, do you really want to have people in your corner who you're always having to like convince that it's a good idea that you're following what lights you up? Do you always want to be facing other people's judgment and projections, really? So this is about like you recognizing that you have the ability to create the life you want, but it's going to require you to trust yourself. It's going to require you to just take one step at a time, and it might not necessarily be instant gratification, right? But this is like really rewiring how we make decisions and how we move through the world. And they want you to know that if you commit to the journey, if you commit to the process, if you commit to your joy, if you take these leaps and you say, I'm going to live according to my soul, and you let it take however long it's going to take, sweet results await. and it's going to feel so incredible. Here's the thing, people spend their whole lives building things or on paths to achieve things that they think will make them successful. And it's for other people, it's not for them. It's for what they think it will do for their status or their image, and it's not for them. And then they get there and they do not feel fulfilled. I see it all the time. And there's a moment of, how much time did I just waste, and why do I not feel the way I thought I would feel? I got everything I wanted. Why do I not feel good? It wasn't good enough. Because they were living for somebody else. And you know what? This is even just like a daily time-saving hack. I started asking myself in the morning, what's going to make me feel successful today? And that's how I'm shifting my priorities. And think about that in terms of your life. right? Because I could build this thing, I could do that thing, and maybe other people outside of me would think that's great and be excited about it, but am I going to feel satisfied and fulfilled and productive? Not always, right? And so when I have allowed what I actually desire to guide me, I leave every day feeling like that was productive. Right, so maybe somebody else wants me to do X, Y, Z, and today I'm like, you know what make me feel productive today? I'm going to feel productive today if I sit and I just talk to my spirit guides all day long. Or I go have a self-care day. Or I cook some nice food, right? Or maybe it is something related to my business. But we have to notice how much we're creating and building. I mean, the number of people who want me to make this program, run that thing. It's like, that's a great idea, but that's not lighting me up. And so I'm not going to do that for you if it's not also bringing me joy. So think about that. How do you really want to feel? How do you really want to feel? And what's going to actually make you feel satisfied? What's going to make you feel I'm living my purpose every single day, because that is the path to go down. And that is how you create real magic in the world. So there is your message for today. Allow the clarity to drop in, and it drops in on the other side of choosing your soul and choosing your intuition. Just follow that bit by bit in all the small ways, and then the big intuitive hits come in. All right, that's going to be it for today. Sorry about this light. I'm going to have to figure out this situation. It's my blinds. But if you did enjoy this, leave a comment below. Let me know how it resonated, and hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already, and the subscribe button so that you never miss a future video. Maybe share this with somebody in your life if you think that this message would be helpful for them as well. I am sending you so much love. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in a future video.